Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Seattle. My name is Dave Hunter. I'm the head of the statistics department at Penn State University. I'm also the chair-elect of the Caucus of Academic Representatives, which means I have the responsibility for programming today's workshop. And unfortunately, I have a family commitment that's been on the calendar for a couple of years, and so I can't be with you this morning. And so, unfortunately, I'm going to miss all of the good stuff we have in store for you today. Fortunately, on the other hand, Paul Rathouse from Wisconsin has agreed to step up and chair today's workshop, and so I'm very grateful to Paul for doing that for me. I wanted to say a few words of welcome and also to give you a sense of what's in store for today. Basically, today's workshop is in two parts, and each part is anchored by an hour-long session. So the first part is anchored by an hour-long session on gender equity in academic statistics. This session will be chaired, or moderated, I should say, by Sally Morton from the University of Pittsburgh. She'll be joined by Terry Speed and by Nick Jewell. I got the idea for asking these folks to do this from a talk that I heard Terry Speed give at Penn State on gender equity, which I just found incredibly interesting, and I thought that this was the sort of audience that I'd love to put that kind of a talk in front of. And then Sally graciously agreed to join in, and then she wanted Nick to be involved, and I think that we've got a terrific group of panelists for you today for this first session on gender equity. The first part of today's workshop will then wrap up with a short segment. There are a couple of people who are going to give a plea for statisticians to serve on grant panels. There will be one from NSF and one from NIH. And after that, we'll take a break. After the break, we'll come back for the second part of the workshop. And the second part of the workshop will begin by presidents of ASA, present and future. So both David Morgenstein and Jessica Utz will stop by. David is the current president of ASA, Jessica is the president-elect of ASA, and then we'll each say a few words about their vision. And then we will have another hour-long session. This session will cover data sciences. And this is a topic that I think all of us are grappling with in some way. And the data science perspective will be given by some fairly junior folks. One of them is Daniela Witten from the University of Washington. She'll be joined by Edo Eroldi from Harvard University. That session, and the other session I should say, will have plenty of time for you to ask questions, make comments, or whatever else strikes your fancy. I hope that this generates a lot of useful discussion for you. After the data science session, we'll be joined by Ram Tiwari, who will give us a little bit on some job opportunities with the federal government. And then you're almost ready for lunch at that point. But first, if there's time remaining, I thought it would be useful for this group to spend 5 to 10 minutes brainstorming on how this workshop can be useful in the future. Maybe suggesting topics that you would like to see, things that you would be interested in seeing at this workshop. I know that this will be helpful for next year's chair-elect. That's all I've got, and again, I'm sorry that I can't join you, but I really am grateful to people like Paul Rathouse, also the terrific speakers that we have lined up, and I'm grateful to all of you for attending. Thanks very much. One last thing, I wanted to take a few seconds to talk about this machine that I'm using here. This is the Lightboard at Penn State. It's part of the one-button studio technology that the folks here at Penn State have put together. And the Lightboard itself is based on a prototype that was posted online by a professor from Northwestern University. The folks here at Penn State read what he said about the thing and built one on their own. And it may look like I've been writing with my left hand backwards, but in fact this is my right hand. The image that you're looking at is being filmed through glass, and then it's reversed in post-processing. If you have any questions about this, I'd be happy to entertain them or try to put you in touch with people at Penn State who can answer the questions for you. I know there are other Lightboards out there. Arnie Stromberg, I think, is in the room, and he probably will tell you that the Lightboard at Kentucky is better than the one at Penn State. I don't know if that's true, but as I said, I'm sure Arnie or I would be happy to answer any questions you might have or put you in touch with people who can answer those questions. With that, I hope all of you enjoy JSM, and in particular, I hope you enjoy today's workshop.